thousands and millions of immigrants overtaking America. And I know a lot of the liberals in the US, they say it's like someone just open your window
and come in
and literally
use your resources.
Well, that's what the liberals are saying America should do. Open our borders, let everyone in. Welcome back to our channel, Better Together. I am here with Anna.
Hello, and this is Sabrina.
How are you today?
Babe, today I'm very happy to be here because we're better together. Today, we're going to be talking about a very polarizing topic.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about it, please?
We'll be talking about immigration. Yes, and that is a very polarizing topic.
Very sensitive for some people.
And I just want to start this off by saying we're not saying all immigrants should be sent home because we're immigrants ourselves. What we're going to be talking about today is how the overflow of illegal immigrants can negatively impact a country. There are two different spectrums. There are some people who believe in this globalized world and believe that America, for example, should accept all immigrants.
And the movements should be free between countries.
And then there is the more conservative view that immigrants should be vetted more strictly. There should be stricter laws as it relates to immigration. And I think we're more on that side. And we will be talking about that today.
Yes.
So a very funny TikTok is going around. I watched the debate with Kamala and Donald Trump. Trump said that they're eating the cats and the dogs in Springfield, right?
The immigrants are
illegal immigrants.
Yeah, the illegal immigrants. We want to be very clear with this.
And I just want to share this song with you that I heard.
Eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, eat the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat, eat the cat, eat the cat.
Okay.
To be honest, the first time you showed me that, I was very shocked, and I didn't know about this, that this was happening. And it took me by surprise, and even more wait, that's what they usually say about people here in China. And then you explain to me hey, it's not like Americans are doing that, it's the immigrants, the illegal immigrants are doing this.
And I know a lot of people don't believe that because a lot of the media in the US, they don't report Donald Trump favorably. But then you went ahead and did some research. You spoke to some Americans, someone that is kind of related to the issue. And you got evidence that this is actually happening in the US.
Yeah, I have someone that works in the political arena, and he confirmed yes, this is happening. And he sent me videos. I was very shocked, and I even said I don't want to see this, but it was too late. He already sent it, and I couldn't believe it. It is very shocking. But it's hard to believe. I could see why it's hard to believe because it's out of a horror story.
Can you imagine having your dogs or your dog and you send your dog out to walk, or your dog went out to chase something and you can't find your dog?
And then you I don't know, you get a call the police arrested someone because they found it.
Yeah, that is sad. But that is just one of the many issues that are happening in the US or countries that are overrun with illegal immigrants. And you were in New York this summer. What were your experiences there?
So this summer, while I was there, I saw a lot of immigrants, and something that shocked me while I was using the public transportation was that they were jumping and not paying, and they had this smile in their face we know we're breaking the rules, but no one's stopping us. And they weren't taking care of the installations or the infrastructure. And I could see it in their faces when they were jumping and not paying. And as a tourist, I felt very angry. And I couldn't believe how the local people must feel about seeing all of this happening
in their communities.
I wouldn't want that to happen in my community or in my country, to see someone else destroying what our taxes are paying for.
Wow. As someone living in China as an immigrant for the last 5 years and seeing how China deals with immigrants, the policies that are enacted here in China, I find that very shocking. In China, you can only stay in this country if one, you're contributing to the economy of China, 2, you're here on some talent business visa, or you're married to a Chinese citizen. And even when you're in the country, there are so many measures taken to ensure that immigrants are not disrupting the social order in China. Such as,
definitely.
1, you can't come to China if you have any criminal record. You have to get a clean police record before entering the country.
I think that's the first step. Like,
to
you
work.
need to prove that you haven't done anything wrong in your country.
Secondly, coming into China, you have to register at the local police station immediately. The police, they need to know where you're living, they need to know where you're staying, they need
your
to
phone number, your employer information, everything.
Your phone number is connected to your identity. You can't have multiple phone numbers that just is connected to anything where you can do all sort of scamming or illegal things with.
And that's because they also use the banking system. Like, everything is interconnected. Like, your phone number, your bank card, your identity, your everything is interconnected. So it is easy for them to follow where people are.
It's China makes it really hard for someone to live here illegally. I'm not saying that there aren't any illegal immigrants, because I do have a story of associate of mine. She allowed someone who was here in China illegally to live with her for a time period, and then when that person tried to get her documents straight and went to the police, they asked, where were you living? And she gave, the illegal person gave the address of
her friend,
the friend, and her documents were revoked for doing that. The friend who allowed the illegal immigrant to stay in her house. So
it is that serious.
It is that serious to have illegal immigrants just staying anywhere in China. China makes it very, very difficult for people to do that. And what do you think are some of the consequences of having illegal immigrants in a country?
In my personal experience, I will talk about Colombia's situation with Venezuela, and I think everyone at this point knows what is going on with Venezuela, and a lot of people left their country. Colombia is right next to it, so most of the people at the beginning, they went to Colombia. At the beginning, Colombia was open to accept them, and we were very kind to them, but not everyone that comes into a country as an immigrant has good intentions. So some of the people that didn't have good intentions were doing bad things, and the violence, like, Colombia is already a very violent country. That is not for discussion. But once the immigrants came in, the violence increased. And something I was talking with a friend of mine back in Colombia, it's that before, at least when they were going to steal something from you, the Colombians just scared you and like, hey, give me your phone, and that's it. Like, they will take your phone away, and you will be like, oh my god, like, that was very scary. Now, like, after the immigrants came, they weren't even scaring you. They were just stabbing you and running away. So you wouldn't even have time to, I don't know, protect yourself. So definitely violence. It's one of the consequences. Like, it went up just for not having control about who is coming into the country. In consequence, this creates a bad reputation about the Venezuelan people in this case. And I know that not all Venezuelans are bad. Like, I'm very sure that there are a lot of good people that they are trying to move forward, and they are trying to find their way to feed their families. But there are two sides of the same coin. Like, some people are just stealing, some others are trying to work hard and find solutions. But at the end of the day, when the news come up and they say like, oh, someone from Venezuela did this, then the whole country and the whole nation gets a bad reputation, and it's damaging for the people that are trying to do good and that are trying to migrate with legally. So it is very damaging.
And that is why you have some countries, when they try to travel overseas for tourism legally, they're denied visas because of what is happening in their countries, because immigrants also go to some of these countries, and that's why even some people are afraid of Colombians. Like Colombians
definitely. Like me personally, while traveling around the world, I've encountered certain
stereotypes.
Situations, and stereotypes, and definitely crossing the borders of certain countries, I get called out by security just because of my passport. So it's not like I don't understand the situation.
But I am thinking about the viewer, someone might say it's because Colombians are known for narcotics.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand that we as Colombians, we carry that. So I can't get mad. I just like accept it, and me as an immigrant, I know that once I go outside, I am a representation of the whole nation, of all Colombians. So I take into account that. I try to behave well, and I think, and here as well in China.
Yeah, so the point we're making here is not that immigrants or immigration is a bad thing. We are immigrants ourselves. But where there is poor immigration laws, poor regulation of the immigrants coming into the country, the vetting process is very weak, that leads to problems. Where there's an overflow of immigrants, that leads to problems. And I will argue in Guangzhou, for example, there's like a whole lot of foreigners there in China, a big community of foreigners in Guangzhou, China, and the communities look very different from the ones
Chinese ones.
From where there are more Chinese people, because the immigrants, they
bring their culture, right?
They bring their culture.
What do you think about that?
I think that it can damage the culture. There can be a loss of the Chinese culture, or any culture.
Where the receiving country.
I think that's what is happening in a lot of European countries even now. They're trying to fight for their culture, for their way of life, but so many immigrants overflowing in the country leads to a loss of their own culture. And I know it's a very sensitive topic, and I know that maybe I have no right to talk about that because I myself am an immigrant, you know what I mean? But
there is a difference when you migrate to another country in the right way
and
you
working
earn it,
and working legally in the country versus people who go to the country, become homeless, work illegally, and living off social resources. Did you see in the US where they were closing schools in New York to house illegal immigrants? And I think you were telling me this story about the immigrant who was saying, I don't need to work here because I am getting social benefits, social welfare.
There were a lot of people. I saw an interview and they were saying like, the way we're doing it now is like we just come and the government pays for our housing, and maybe it's a shared space with many other immigrants, but they don't have to pay housing, they don't have to pay food, so they are just living out of the taxes of the people,
Americans, hardworking Americans. And I think that is not right for Americans. As a Jamaican, I wouldn't want to see neighboring countries overtaking my country.
Same.
Taking over the schools for Jamaican children.
You're taking something out of your population to give to someone else that is doing what for your society. Like
it's like, would you allow a stranger in your house, someone you've never met, to come in your house, someone you've never met before, you don't know who this person is, you don't know if this person is a killer? Would you allow a stranger to come in your house with your young children to live and to sleep there without having any prior knowledge or understanding of this person's character?
I wouldn't. I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't even open my door.
To a complete stranger. Someone just it's like someone just open your window
and come in
and
literally use your resources, and use your space, and
and you have your children, you buy your food for your kids stuff, and they come through your window, take them, eat them, and your kids do what? I think that is the point we're trying to make here. Like, as immigrants ourselves, we have done the due diligence to come into the country legally, to work in the country on talent or to contribute positively. But I am just not for thousands and millions of immigrants overtaking America. And I know a lot of the liberals in the US, they say the conservatives, they hate immigrants, they don't want immigrants. But I don't think that they hate immigrants or they don't want immigrants. I think America needs immigrants. And I've heard the conservative views, the conservative persons in the US many times say America needs immigrants.
They
but
need people,
illegal immigrants, that people you vet, you have prior knowledge about, you know who they are. I will reiterate, I will never let a stranger come through my windows and say, okay, you can live here.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
I think no one would do that.
Well, that's what the liberals are saying America should do. Open our borders, let everyone in.
No, I don't support this. Like, it really, like, think about that, like, being your house, really, and then answer yourself, like, would you do that?
I can already hear someone saying, why are you talking about American politics? You're not Americans. That's because American politics influence the rest of the world. I've always heard this statement, America catch a cold, the rest of the world sneeze. You know, like, America's politics, the social issues in the US, it influences the rest of the world. America is like the center of influence.
Society. Society. A lot of
America's
things.
like the world police.
Yes, and a lot of things start there. And we're seeing to be honest, like, the repercussions are felt all around the globe. Because America's economy is so strong that it has the power to affect everything, not only the economy but the social issues as well. So it is important to look there, look what's happening there, and react, because what if all the countries just follow this trend or follow these policies, which is
already happening. We know the influence America has on the rest of the world. There is no one that studies politics, looks at the international arena, that does not know that America influences the rest of the world. So that is why we as non-Americans are talking about American issues, because America influences our country. I am from the Caribbean, and America plays a massive role in our social, political issues in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean.
As well in Latin America.
So guys, just to say, we are not against immigrants. We're not saying immigrants are bad. We're saying illegal immigrants are bad. That is the point I am making. And I will never understand how Americans are so for, like, open our borders, let everyone come in. I will never get it.
I don't know if they are.
I will never get it.
I don't know if they are up to that, or all of them, because really, when I was there as a tourist, I felt anger. Like, I couldn't believe it. So, it is not healthy. No. So, guys, that is what we're saying. Let us know your comments below. Let us know what you think below. I know this is a very polarizing issue, so comment below your thoughts on this issue. Is there anything else you want to say in closing? Well, thank you for watching, and
remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.
Bye.